जब तक है संसार अमर है राम भरत का प्यार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार। सुना भरत ने हुआ राम को जैसे ही वनवास, दौड़े दौड़े पहुँच गए वो वन में राम के पास। राम के बदले न था भरत को राजपाट स्वीकार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार।
सहनौ भवतु सहनौ पुनस्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। We have a very uncertain relationship with the objects of this world. We either shun them, we say, oh my God, it's so horrible. Why should people have a Rolls Royce? Why should people have a car? Why should people have money? We either shun it or we chase it. Now, does Vedanta tell us to shun it?
No.
No. Does Vedanta prohibit us from chasing it? Does Vedanta say that you should not chase it?
No.
The thing about it is that we are a bit unclear about what we are supposed to do with these wonderful objects there are in this world. Are we supposed to enjoy them? Are we supposed to keep away from them? The answer is really neither. The answer is whatever you choose to do, lead with the head. Lead with the head. That means you say, I want to enjoy a gulab jamun. Today, Jayashree bought me some very nice pasta. Red color pasta. If you all were here, you could have also had pink color, not pink color pasta. Now, should I not have it? Then should I have it? Which one? The point is not whether to have it or not to have it. The point is your contact has to be led with the head. Whether you have it or you don't have it, 9 out of 10 times the contact is led by the
Mind.
mind. And that's where the problem exists. It's quite simple, right? At least theoretically very simple. Don't lead the contact with the mind. When you lead the contact with the mind, it is called a blind contact. Whatever you do with your mind is blind. Whatever you do with your head is sighted, is visionary, is sensible. So when Vedanta says, do not rush to the objects of desire, it is not saying do not use the objects of desire. Do not enjoy the objects of desire. It's not saying that. It's saying don't rush, means don't be blind about it. Don't go like, moths to a flame. Can't we enjoy things without those things destroying us? That art of enjoying something without getting destroyed by that thing is what is meant by a sighted contact or an intellect-led contact. So, what is the problem? Remember that girl we were talking about? She wanted a job. Then she got a job. Now, when she got a job, she wants clothes to wear for that job. She wants a car to take her to the job. She wants a laptop to work on for the job. So many things get involved. Now, should we get these additional things or not has to be determined by
The head.
the head. At least theoretically, is this clear? Whether we can execute it or not, don't worry. Theoretically clear. Yes. No, there is no taboo on anything. Should I get an Apple? What is that? iWatch, right? Should I get an Apple iWatch? Yes, no.
Depends, you have the money for it.
So my only yardstick is whether I have the money for it. That way, Mukesh Ambani can eat himself to death because he has the money for it. Simply having the money is not enough. What will determine whether I should get the iWatch or not? Yes, but what?
Whether I need it, whether what's the use.
What is it a tool for? What is the goal? What is the purpose? What am I trying to do? In some cases, you need to. One lady said she works in the film industry. She is a hairstylist. So, according to her, not a hair, she's a stylist. Or was it hair? No, I think she's a stylist. Sorry, I get all confused in all these things. So, she's a stylist. Her job is to style the stars. You know, when a star goes out, that star has to look in a particular way. Now, some of those stars know how to look like that, and some of the stars don't know how to look like that. So they have to have a person. Maybe they know, but then this other person does a little better job. Like how an author writes, but then the editor improves what the author has done. No? So probably like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking. So this stylist has to work with the star. Now the star, to hire that stylist, will see how that stylist is dressed, isn't it? So that stylist then has to have a Hermes bag with her to show that I have already done so many stars. That's how I have this bag, and now I'm looking so fancy. You will also look so fancy, or something. So this girl, poor thing, or I don't know, poor thing or what, she has to buy whatever those fancy bags and wear the fancy footwear and all of this stuff. But that's just part of her occupation. Now, suppose Deeprad started doing all that. He started having, I don't know, all sorts of, I don't know what the male stylists Then we wonder for what? He's a researcher in mathematics. Why would he need all these things? Right? So now, depending on where you are placed, what are you trying to achieve? What is the purpose? You do this, whatever you have to do. Now, you can't make rules. You cannot use luxury items, or you have to use luxury items. You can't make any rules like that. So when you use your head, you try and determine what you're trying to do. What is the purpose? What are you trying to do? And does this action actually achieve that end? Okay. So this lady, she says, okay, I'll buy a car to go to work. But actually, in her city, there is so much traffic that you can't make it to work in a car. You have to go by metro. Like if you were in New York, for instance, if you had to drive and go, I don't know whether you'll ever reach. You have to take the metro. You can be anybody. You have to take the metro. So everywhere in London, very tough. How do you drive anywhere? Half the city is place they don't let you take the car. So now, is that object really making your life easier or not? The second home, is that making your life easier or not? If you have one home in South India, one home in North India, one home in East India, because you like something of South India, something of North India, and something of East India, your whole life is running between these three homes only. You say, I have no time, I have no time. I will talk to you later after 1 month. Why? Because I'm busy running between these three houses. I'm getting chakkar. So, do you need it? What are you trying to achieve out of it? That is what you have to think. Is it really making your life more comfortable? Or have you taken just one element and in your pursuit of pushing that element in, you made everything else in life very complicated? Suppose you love a chair, you just love it. You go to the store and you see this fantastic chair, very comfortable, you love it. And so you buy it. Deepraj, you have plenty of money and you bought it. Now this chair, beautiful chair, wonderful chair, it can't even enter through your main door. And having entered through your main door, there's no place to put it anywhere. And what use is that chair going to be? Every time you try to go anywhere, you bump into that chair of yours. So see whether it fits the whole scenario. Can't just buy it because I like it. Okay. So if it makes life more convenient or more enjoyable, certainly get it. Then where is the problem? We don't stop to think. We blindly run for more, for better. We don't know whether any additional acquisition will indeed make life more enjoyable or more convenient. This is the big deal in life. We don't know. Underline that. We don't know whether an additional acquisition will indeed make life more enjoyable or more convenient. If you know that, then get it. But what analysis have you done to find whether that will actually happen? We don't know. The most common example has to be, is Bharat in class? I better be careful. If Bharat is in class, then I won't give this example.
Yes, marriage example coming up.
No, not marriage. It's the second home. Now I'm going to have second home example. Is that second home? See, you live in the city and it's all traffic and noise and pollution. Horrible. So what do you want to do? I want a second home. There's a mad craze in Mumbai for a second home. Joyce, is there a mad craze over there also for second homes?
people barely can afford the first home.
Here also it's like that. They can barely afford one home, but their sights are on the second home.
They still want the second home.
They have 1 second. Then something happens and they have the money. Then they go to get the second home. But what thought went into it? So, did it actually make it more enjoyable? That's the question. Oh, yes, when I go there, I love being there. It's a funny part. But how often do you go? How much are you spending to have that home? How many times do you have to go there because there is a problem in that home? Are you really going to enjoy it? Yes, I love open air. Okay, for that one open air, you take on this whole samsara. Instead, if you went to a hotel, they will handle the samsara, you live happily. I'm not suggesting you go to a hotel. I'm not suggesting you don't buy a second home. The point I'm trying to make is,
How is it helping you reach your goal?
is it actually more convenient? Has it made your life more convenient, more enjoyable? Has it actually done that? Or not? And you don't have to first do it and then find out. Find out initially only. Is it really making my life better? It's a very, very interesting analysis to do before you get anything in life, whether you're paying for it with money or with anything else. Did somebody want to say something?
Sankiti, the need.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I wanted to say it is an investment also. No? A second home can be in the form of an investment.
So ask yourself, is it?
Yeah.
This is the thing. If you're doing it as an investment, then what are your outgoings?
Yeah.
What is the price you bought it at? What are you planning to sell it at? What is the rate of return you're getting? Have you compared it to anything else? There's no thinking, there's just like, especially everybody knows that a real estate investment in a good case scenario will give you about 12% rate of interest. And from that, you will have to subtract taxes, outgoings, and everything. If you put the same thing in maybe the mutual funds or shares or something, you can get 20%. And no headaches, no nothing. No maintenance, no nothing. I am not giving financial advice, please. I am not suggesting anyone do mutual funds or shares or anything. I'm not saying that if you are buying it as an investment, how much have you compared to other forms of investments and seen the advantages, disadvantages? What is your portfolio? How much you're doing for what? How much liquidity do you require? How many houses are sold in distress sale? Because, oh yeah, we'll invest in an illiquid asset. And then when you need the money, you can't get it. So now you do a distress sale. So though people say, yes, I'm buying for an investment.
Not just for investment, enjoyment plus investment.
That is the same theory women have over their jewelry. Enjoyment plus investment. Find out how much enjoyment, how much investment, what is your investment giving you. Buying gold for investment and enjoyment is the worst combination. Because, does anyone know why? Who has analyzed this?
Making charges.
30% making charges, straight away lost. So nobody's thought this thing through. They're buying gold. And not buying gold. If you buy a slab of gold, very good. Then it is an investment. No investment also, little enjoyment also. When you have multiple goals out of one thing, no goal is actually met. So this is how people justify their expenses. It's more justification. So if I say, oh, it's not a good investment, so then you say, oh no, but there's also enjoyment. I tell you, no, what is the enjoyment? How many times you have to go there, look after it, pay taxes, pay outgoings? Then you say, you shift to something else. I want to keep it for my son. You see, so each time there's an argument, it goes to something else. That means there's no real thinking. So a lady buys some diamond jewelry, or investment for my children. Do your children want it? Are they going to wear this particular, see, 30 years later, does she want to wear this design which you have just bought for her? So basically, this is not a advice on their financial management, please. I am not a financial expert. It is just how much thinking are we putting behind whatever we are choosing to do. I want to start a business. Oh, I can't bear to deal with these bosses. I will start my own business. I deal with it then. Deal with the fact that when you have a business, you don't have to listen to a boss because you're everybody's chaprasi. The onus of everything is on your head, right? You get irritated with somebody, you fire them, they say, I'm off. They drop and they'll go. Or they have something happening in their house, they'll drop it and go. You're left holding the baby. So the moral of this story is
Think before.
lead with your head. Lead with your head. So should I not start a business? Arey Baba, nobody is saying don't start a business. Is anyone recommending you have to take a job? No. But whatever choice you have made, financial, work, whatever, even when you come to a Vedanta class, you made a choice, right? Did you lead with the head? When you go to a class, any class, could be Vedanta, could be Sanskrit, could be computer, could be anything. Immediately you must know that there is involved. What is involved? Don't do that.
Effort,
Yes, there's effort, everything.
Planning.
Yes, everything gets involved, right? For you to simply make sure you make this commitment, I will go every Friday 7 to 8. Do you understand what that commitment means? That means one day if your wife says, let's go out to dinner, no, you will be saying,
No.
oh, I have a class, right? Have you made that commitment? No, I love Vedanta. I'm going to Vedanta class. Love Vedanta से कुछ नहीं होता भैया. Where is the commitment to that hard work? And if there is no commitment to the hard work that it involves, the result of your studying Vedanta will become
Zero.
junk in, junk out. Isn't it? No effort has been put in, nothing, no gains will be made. So lead with the head. Understand what are the choices you're making, why you're making those choices, what were your alternatives in those choices, and whether this is the one you're going to commit to. And if you do commit to it, then you're in 100%. You're just in or you're out. You find Westerners behave like that a lot. Indians are all, sab chalta hai. They are always on the fence. When a Westerner takes it up, then they take it up. And if they leave it, they leave it. It is not, ye bhi thoda chahiye, wo bhi thoda chahiye, pura buffet hi chahiye. I want a little of this, I want a little of that. The full buffet has to be given to me at all times. And then nothing is actually ever achieved because we want too many things and we're not committed to it. Yes, Bharat.
so the need for analysis increases when it comes to making the bigger decisions or the bigger expenses, right? Is there something as giving into an innocuous little purchase of buying a pair of jeans, for example, where you just succumb to your like and dislike, but there's no real repercussion?
No, of course, there's a repercussion to everything. Why do Indians have so many cupboards in their houses? Have you seen how many cupboards are there in Indian houses? Joyce, when you next come to India, I'll show you. How the amount of cupboards. And we not only have cupboards, we have cupboards in our beds. Do you know that? An Indian will not leave one scrap, one dot of space anywhere. There will be cabinets everywhere, cupboards everywhere. Under the bed, there is cupboard. Over the head, there is cupboard. I don't know if you know this thing. You can't see ceilings over here because there will be a what they call a mala. What is a mala in English? I don't know. What's the English word for mala?
Loft.
Garland, is it?
Yes, correct. Loft. Sorry, what did you say?
No, Mala I heard as garland or something like that. Sorry.
No, not that mala. Mala, okay. I don't know. Which language is mala? I think Hindi then. That's the other problem in India, Joyce. Too many languages, and some words are common between the languages, but they mean different things. Too much confusion in this country. So there's a loft. So there's under your bed stuff, there is over your head stuff, every wall is full of cupboards. And Bharat, you're saying no repercussion of buying one extra jean. Huge repercussions. And not to mention, I don't know if you all have been to Delhi. You all have been to Delhi in recent times. Have you seen? I forgot the name of the area. We're driving past it. I see this mountain. And I'm wondering, it's a very strange mountain because there are lots of birds circling it. You've never seen that, right? There are lots of birds circling a mountain. We're driving for 5 minutes and I'm just sort of idly looking out of the window. There's a mountain, birds are circling. We've driven for quite some time. Then I think, let me see, why are all the birds circling this mountain? What's happening here? I said, what's happening in this mountain? Why so many birds? And then the person who was driving me said, that's not a mountain. That's the junk of Delhi. And we're driving. Like this big hillock. Just the dirt. Where does this dirt come from? Okay, you use your jeans and then what do you do with them? Then you give it to your staff. Then he uses it for a little while. Then it's torn. Then what does he do out of it? Maybe he'll make a pocha out of it. Then what does he do with it? Goes into the dump. And where does that dump go? And become this massive hillock. That was the whole problem with this, what they call quick fashion. Very cheap clothes. You buy cheap clothes, wear cheap clothes, throw cheap clothes. First, we used to have this concept, we'll buy good, thick material. So it'll be there for many years. Now nobody wants to wear for many years. What do they want? This season, done, out, in the waste bin. Where is it going to go? In the dump yard. That dump yard used to be a pit. Now it's a mountain. Can you believe that? I'm shocked. I was really shocked. Wow, this is what we have done. And we can't say, oh, Delhi is like that. No, in Mumbai, probably I don't know where this mountain is. Or any other city. Imagine every city having this huge pile of dirt. So, Bharat, everything has repercussions. Long story to say everything has repercussions. It seems innocuous to us.
Yes, thank you.
That doesn't mean every time you have an ice cream, you start thinking about climate change. You don't have to go that far. But I mean, again, it's the intellect, right? That this time should we do it or not? Each time, there's no rule. Each time you're thinking afresh. This time, shall I do it or not? No, you must always tell the truth. No, you have to ask yourself, this time, should I do it or not? Should always live a simple life? No, you have to ask yourself, this time, shall I do it or not? Every time, this time, is it right? That's when you're leading with the no, I always do this. That means
No intellect.
Mind.
mind. I always do it, therefore I'm doing it now. No. This time, does it make sense to you? That doesn't mean every Friday you ask, this time shall I go to class? Not like that. When you have put something in routine and then you go on that routine. And you don't break that routine, largely speaking. Like every day you don't get up and ask, this time shall I study? No, you have to study. If you don't need to study, life will tell you. I mean, somebody's having a heart attack, you will know. But yes, otherwise you have to study. Right? Where did it go? Where were we? No. Yes, Joyce.
I just would like to ask a question about the role of discomfort in, you mentioned that there has to be an amount of discomfort in any decision or any action that we, I'm not sure what is the reason behind this. I mean, why should there be discomfort? If it's something that we have chosen with the intellect, that is, why should there be discomfort?
It doesn't always have to be discomfort, but
Mhm.
the discomfort should not interfere with the judgment of whether it should be done or not.
Ah, so it's not a prerequisite that there has to be discomfort for it to lead to. All right.
Yes. Okay, so here's how it works.
Mm.
Let's say you're not used to exercise.
Mm.
So then you get up in the morning and say, okay, I have to go for a jog. Right? Uncomfortable. Horrible to get up in the morning. Horrible to go out in the cold. Horrible to have to dress up, wear my shoes. And horrible. Discomfort. But if you keep doing it, it'll become very comfortable and you will start enjoying it a lot. Then what happens is when you start enjoying that, you don't push this up a little. So now that you're used to your exercise, let us say now you get used to, let's say, proper diet, or let's say getting up in the morning and studying, or a host of other things that we have to do. We just go on with this jogging as if I got this right, so now I'm perfect and I don't need to do anything. So in various areas of life, we have become good, but we're not doing anything to get a bit better. And that, when you try to get, again, the whole cycle repeats, right? You're trying to do the next thing, again, discomfort, again, you run away, again, you struggle. Then that becomes comfortable. Then you have to find something else to be uncomfortable about.
In order to improve, yes, all right, yes, it makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, Mahesh, let us continue. Oh, there's something here. 1 second. Some comments I should be seeing. Jayashri, which means objective end which leads to convenience enjoyment. It begins from inconvenient application of the intellect. So I think you're saying what I just said, right? Same idea, no? Okay. Can you just go back one page, Mahesh? Then where is the problem? We don't stop to think. We blindly run for more, for better. We think it's more, we think it's better, so just go chasing it. We don't know whether any additional acquisition will indeed make life more enjoyable or more convenient. Oftentimes, it doesn't. And we have only a lot of additional things to maintain. So you got your first, second house, you got your second house. Now you're running between these houses. You have to maintain these houses. Just a lot of additional things to maintain. And it's not just a house, right? A house means everything in the house too. And then what happens? And that's stressful. As cases and points see our cupboards, investments, relationships, and houses. How many cupboards are there in our houses which we have not even opened and checked what is inside? Or drawers, or lofts. We won't even remember that that is there in this cupboard. Live light. Live light doesn't mean that you don't have what you want. It just means you don't have what you don't want. We all have things we don't want. Have what you want. Investments. People are making random investments in all sorts of things. There's no organization. I mean, not people, us. Oh, I've invested in this, I've invested in this. So many, there was at one time this whole craze about investing in these trees. I don't know if you remember that. You remember? They used to buy plots with those trees on it, and they tell you in so many years you'll get so many things. Where are all those plots? They've all disappeared into thin air. Where are all those farms? Relationships. You start multiple relationships. It's a very sad thing. There was this gentleman. He was very old. He was in his 80s. There was a girl. She was a very sweet girl and very helpful and very sweet and well, nice lady. And she happened to meet him, and then because she was friendly and bubbly and cheerful, then she would, whenever they met, be very friendly with him. And then, because she was friends with his daughter and all that, so she also started calling him daddy. And then whatever, then eventually she got busy with her life and stuff. Now think about what she has just done. She was very close to him. Close means he's an 80 odd years old, 85, 86 years old. She's calling him daddy. She brings him stuff to eat. She takes care of him, and chats with him and makes him laugh or whatever. And then she's busy with her life after some time, like 1 or 2 months of this, and then something else interests her. She's doing that. What has she done to that man? He's an 80-year-old, 85-year-old. She's calling him daddy. Right? So now when she doesn't call him anymore, he has just lost a daughter. You pick up relationships and then drop those people. You have gone on with your life, but there is somebody left behind who is now feeling the pain of being left behind. I mean, she wasn't meaning to leave him behind. She didn't fight or anything. She just got busy in something else. Like any youngster would, right? She wasn't trying. She was trying to be friendly and, But the thing is, you're picking up a relationship where you're not made a commitment, but that other person needs the companionship. I don't know how to express this. It's like, for him, it was heartbreaking. And as I watched this, I can see what's going on. I understand how heartbreaking it is. And then once, very pathetically, he spoke to, like not really spoke to me, but he said, I don't see that one anymore. Is she angry with me for some reason? something the matter. You realize what he's going through, right? It's for him, it's like a daughter not talking to him anymore. You don't know, pick up relationships, drop relationships, or then create so many relationships that you cannot handle it anymore. Which may just be in her case, she may have found somebody else to take care of or whatever. So you don't realize also in your hopes of helping how you are hurting. It's quite sad actually. Deep Raj, and when they become rat food, we are sad, even though we forgot we had those clothes in the first place. That's true. The very sad thing is, really very sad, is when people, keep some beautiful tapestry or some beautiful cloth or any beautiful item for some special day. And then years pass and that beautiful white cloth has yellowed and is staring. It came into the house in the beautiful packaging. It is still in that packaging. It always stayed there. And then when you're dead, somebody's going to see some rag and throw it in the bin. Because that person doesn't know that you got all this thing that's so beautiful. I'm going to keep it for this beautiful day. Sad. Very, very sad. Okay, Bharat. All right, so shall we continue? Oftentimes it doesn't make it more enjoyable or doesn't make it more convenient. And we just have a lot of additional things to maintain. And that's stressful. As cases in point, see our cupboards, investment, relationships, and houses. So many things to maintain or not maintain and then face the consequence. Possessions not maintained will one day be a cause of further stress. So keep what you know how to maintain, right? So imagine you have a house somewhere and you haven't visited that house. Then your gardener over there decides, who you've kept given the keys to take care of the house, decides one night, why don't I make a little extra money and let a person sleep one night? And my master is not coming 2-3 nights. Okay. Slowly he's made a business out of this. This actually happens. I'm not faking it. You are not maintaining it. Then one day you find your house has been taken over by somebody else. What amount of stress, right? So think before you get in. Get in fully. And you're committed to it. Now you get into 100 things fully and commit to 100 things, you'll go mad. So keep it simple, basically. You want to have a palace, go ahead and have a palace. But please don't have 5 palaces, 4 of which you never go to. I mean, like whatever you want, have it and have it fully. That's leading with your head. You are committed to whatever you. The other method. Okay, so what have we been discussing so far? That all agitations come from desire. Therefore, the only way to eliminate desire is the only way to eliminate agitation is to eliminate desire. How do you eliminate desire? You have 2 methods. One was fulfillment. So now we studied all the problems with fulfillment. The other method, sublimation of desire, is done through knowledge. When one gains knowledge of higher and better values, the desire for the lower fades away. It is a permanent method, though it too has its challenges. So that first method of fulfilling If you don't do it with your head leading, you will end up in more stress, in spite of the fact that your desires are fulfilled. The other method is knowledge. You gain knowledge of higher values in life, the lower fall off. Sounds very good, but that also has its challenges. What is the challenge here?
It needs a lot of effort to outgrow desires.
Lot of effort. Trying to get to higher values so that the lower falls off is a lot of effort. And are you committing to this kind of effort? So both have their advantages and disadvantages, both methods. Then what? It is sensible to combine both methods, contact and sublimation. But for both methods to work requires education. Yes, this book will help. Don't worry. Yet few bother to go to first principles when it comes to happiness. It is strange, most exceedingly strange. This is a quote from Othello when Desdemona was told about Othello's karma, karamat, all his conquests and all that. Strange, most exceedingly strange. Never heard anything like that before. It is strange, most exceedingly strange, especially considering happiness is the single most important aspect of our lives. I don't know why the rest of it is italicized, only those first few words have to be italicized. So it is strange, most exceedingly strange. It's very surprising. Especially considering that happiness is the single most important aspect of our lives. What is strange? That we never go into the first principles of happiness. We don't ask this question. What are the first principles of happiness? So this subtopic is clear. Elimination of agitations is only through elimination of desire. Elimination of desire is possible only through contact or sublimation. Both methods have their advantages and disadvantages. As a Vedantin, you have both methods to use. Use contact where contact is necessary. Use sublimation where sublimation is necessary. But for both of these systems, what is required?
Education.
Knowledge. Education.
If you're not educated, you mess up contact and you mess up sublimation. How do you mess up contact? You get into indulgence. How do you mess up sublimation? You get into abstinence. You get frustrated. So both ways we can create. Human beings are great. At creating confusion, we are well versed. That we can do anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Sublimation of desire. There is only one way to eradicate a desire, and that is to inculcate a higher one. It is like climbing a ladder. Only when we place our foot on the higher rung can the lower be renounced. The principle behind the sublimation of desire is attached to the higher, the lower detaches. A desire is defined as a thought flow caused by an internal lacuna towards an object or being. We keep thinking of it and the desire strengthens. This very mechanism, which ruins our happiness, can be used to gain it. Okay, this is a mechanism that naturally takes place within us. We keep thinking about something and the desire for that thing increases. Now, when you're thinking of your desire and that desire increases, it drives you mad and forces you to take up insane actions. Right? You're familiar with this. Everybody has experienced this because we have done stupid things being carried away by desire. Right? Everybody's clear up to this point. Now, this very thing that your desire you think of something a lot and it creates that desire, That is a fantastic tool we have to solve all our problems. This very mechanism, which ruins our happiness, can be used to gain it. Inculcate higher desires. Now tell me, how will you inculcate higher desires?
By thinking on the higher.
By thinking of them. You figured this much out. How do you inculcate lower desires?
By thinking of the lower.
By thinking. Any desire gets strength by doing what? By thinking of it. Correct. Once you figured this much out, now you want to inculcate a particular desire. Which desire would you like to inculcate?
Higher
Higher desire. Correct. So what do you have to do?
Think of it.
Think of it. It's quite simple. That is why they keep give you multiple ways. In this country, so they give us billions of ways of how to do it. Yes, Deepraj?
But it is only undirected flow of thought that creates desires, not a directed. So if the thinking is directed, how is it going to create the desire?
Why, Anwar? What is a desire? A desire itself is a flow of thoughts, no?
Yeah, so this is the confusion. Earlier we had defined desire as a uncontrolled flow of thought. I mean, undirected flow of thought. Thought flow that's not under direction, but here it's any flow of thought. So even if the intellect is doing the thinking, you're saying it still will create the desire.
Right. Initially, it cannot be uncontrolled because you don't want that thing. So how will it be uncontrolled? You can have an uncontrolled thought only towards something you have a desire for, no?
No, but the control flow of thought is also from our vasanas. We won't even have that control flow of thought without the vasana being there.
Yeah, but now that vasana, even if it is there, is too weak for it to gain any what should I say, manifestation in your personality. So now you are sort of feeding it.
So because the intellect has this ability to direct the flow of thoughts, we can use that ability to increase the thought flow in a particular direction and hence increase the desire for it. So if you use the intellect to direct all that thought flow towards the higher, now the desire for the higher grows. Is that how it is? Okay.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
That is the whole thing. Now that's the brilliance of the whole thing. That very thing which can ruin you is the thing which can take you to the high to your growth. But once you so whoever discovered this, God knows, in the hoary past, somebody must have discovered that how did the desire get created, and then figured out that the desire got created because you kept thinking about it, and that is very easy for us to validate, right? I mean, even if you think of something like in college, you saw somebody, you like somebody, it was a nice person. Then what happened? Then that thought kept repeating. And that nice person suddenly become most important person in your life. How did this nice person become most important person in my life? Right? What actually happened here? I just repeated that thought and kept repeating that. So now this repetition of thought is critical, because if I can repeat this thought with reference to the higher, then the same result will take place. The problem with it is it's difficult to repeat a thought because
It requires a lot of effort initially.
yeah, because there's no fuel. They're trying to start a fire when there's no fuel. What's the fuel?
Desire, mind.
Vasana, yeah. Vasana is very low, so there's no fuel, and now you're trying to sort of spark it. But there is a tiny spark, so yeah, chalo, chandalo, make it grow somehow. You see, when you're starting a fire, One spark is all it takes. You have to catch that spark. Like that. One inspiration to the higher, it all it takes. But you have to catch it. If you don't catch it, then whoosh, it will go again. Then again, rub till you get one more spark somewhere. Catch it. That's critical. Whatever inspires you, hang on to that thing. Because then your thoughts will churn in that direction. And once it churns in that direction, then other things will fade in the background. Yes, Bharat.
So is it that the intellect is making the mind go in a particular direction, or the mind deriving joy out of that higher thing, and then it automatically goes in that direction? I mean, I thought it might be the second case.
No, because the mind will derive joy in something only when,
Has a desire for it.
yeah, but when you're saying higher, that means you still don't have a desire, no? Higher than what? Higher than your current level of desire. Higher is a comparative term, so it's higher than where you currently are. Suppose I'm thinking of my family, those are my desires at the moment. Now I have no enthusiasm in thinking of patriotism. And it leaves me cold. I'm just not interested. But then it may happen one day I listen to Jana Gana Mana or I hear the story of Bhagat Singh. Look what they did. That's the spark you got. Now you have to hang on to that. And if you do, repeat, then that deep interest in family will one day be substituted with a deep interest in the country. Then what happens? Then now you have to get another spark so that you can go higher than the country. That's you can't just force it, right? If you're not interested in the country, you can't force this person to think about the country. But when that spark comes, that's when you have to hold it. And it may die. Never mind. Another spark will come. Just think about it like lighting for fire. Slowly, catch whichever spark comes. No, some may become the fire and some may not become the fire. But you have no, what should I say? At that moment, you have really no interest. I mean, I don't know. Imagine now, suppose it's, I don't know, 40 years ago. I go to meet Swamiji. Swamiji, to me, what is it, meeting Swamiji? It was like, okay, this person says he knows so many things. I'll go ask him. It's a very, very casual, childish thing. And then he tells me that, would you like to join the academy? Join an academy. I have a few questions. Can you tell me those? Okay, what's your question? So I ask him my question. Then he says something like, you seem quite interested in the subject. Have you considered joining the academy? I said, no. So he says to me, what are you doing? So then in my mind, I start listing out. I mean, I'm telling him, just finishing my graduation. I'm the president now of the, what was that? Leo Club. If you know Leo Club, there's some lions and the children are Leos, and I'm president of the Leo Club. And or something, I don't remember what, some silly things that I had. And just finishing my graduation. So he looks at me and he says, so what is so important that you can't leave it behind? What is so important that, I mean, that question, what is so important? I thought, oh, that's a spark, right? What of this is so important? Now, I remember coming out of the house and I'm sitting in the cab to go home. what of this is so important? What of this is so important? What of this is so important? And it was like I don't think any of this is important. I didn't say it, but it seemed so futile, everything that I just said to him. What of this is so important? Now, I don't know whether I did right or I did wrong, but 40 years later, this is where we are. You know, it takes one thing, right? One sentence somebody says, or something, something. But the important thing is if you associate with that, and associate with that, it can change the color of your life entirely. I'm just giving you one example of where the whole thing shifted from where to where, like what was started and then what was then taken up. Just go with whatever inspires you. Don't worry about what that thing is. Go with it. Because that's your key to sort of going to something different, going to something better. And where it will take us, nobody will ever be able to tell you that. What will the new thought give us? Give a completely different thing. So the same mechanism by which we can pull ourselves down is the very mechanism by which we can pull ourselves up. And once you get it, you realize you have a very powerful tool with you. Now you use it however you want.
Janki ji,
Hmm?
suppose if the repeated efforts fail, should we stick to it or should we go for a lighter one?
Nobody can answer that question for you. You have to decide. Every individual has to decide for themselves. Because see, now let us say we want to put up the university. Right? It's a massive goal, right? It's a rather stupid goal. I mean, who are we? What are we trying to do? It's quite kind of silly. So now you have to decide. You want to stick with whatever you originally thought, or do you want to compromise? That's a very personal decision that a human being will take for himself. Or they may say, for now I'll do this, okay, as a stepping stone to that eventually, which naturally we have to do. Now, for us now, we'd love to put up the university, but now we bought the plot, but we don't have the money to build. So now we're putting up cabins so that, okay, can't go to building. So at least we'll put this prefab thing so that we can at least do our retreats and small programs and things like that. But it's just stepping stone to to whatever the eventual goal is. So that is a decision each one has to take themselves.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's it for today. Hari Om.